The crypto market has been in full panic mode, extreme fear and billions lost in the biggest exchange hack in history. But despite this chaos, Bitcoin has bounced back in just 15 minutes. In today's video, I'm going to break down some charts and show you why Bitcoin is about to absolutely explode in price and why accumulating the right altcoins right now could make you millions of dollars. Taking a look at the Bitcoin chart, even with the recent news today of Bybit, the third largest crypto exchange in the world, getting hacked, Bitcoin did not put in a new low and is pretty much already recovered. And this is telling me that the sellers are exhausted and Bitcoin is getting ready for its next move up. Now, what have we pretty much been seeing on the charts? Well, we can see we've pretty much been trading within this sideways range here. And this is quite common for Bitcoin. If we look at its previous price history, Bitcoin likes to trade within these sideways zones, bouncing from the lows to the highs before finally getting that breakout to the upside. And we're literally just seeing that exact same pattern repeat itself. And I wouldn't expect Bitcoin to stay in this range for too much longer before we finally get that bigger breakout to the upside. Now, one thing that's interesting is Bitcoin is actually forming a parabolic channel. So a parabolic channel is essentially this green line here where the price is curving to the upside, but the slope of the curve is getting more parabolic as it goes until it finally reaches the climax where it gets to the top and pretty much goes vertical. And that's typically when you see the start of your bear market, where you get these bigger corrections in the market. So we've been respecting this trend line. As you can see, we started back here and we bounced off it multiple times, and it wouldn't actually surprise me if we are going to go sideways for a couple more weeks before we finally get that breakout. If we do come and tap this line one more time before we get that final push up for Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to touch this line exactly, but it is a line that we have been respecting very well, and it wouldn't surprise me if we do get one final touch of that line before we get that final breakout to the upside. Now, when we take a look at the RSI, there's one thing that I find very interesting. When we go through history, we can see that when we have these downtrends, it's always at the moment that we break out of these downtrends that we get these big price explosions in price. And you can see here what happened when we broke out of that downtrend. And when we go down as well and we look at all of the previous big breakouts for Bitcoin, it's when we have this downtrend on the RSI and it's at the point where we get that break of that downtrend that you get that big move to the upside, as you can see. Well, what are we forming right now? Well, we're actually forming a very similar pattern where we have this downtrend here. And this is going to be the level to watch, because when we see the RSI actually break this level, this is giving us a signal that Bitcoin is about to absolutely explode and get that next leg up in price. So as a trader, what I would be watching very closely is this trend line, because the moment we break that, the probability becomes that we are going to get that breakout into price discovery for Bitcoin. So I want to compare Bitcoin to the total 2 chart. Now, for those of you that don't know, the total 2 chart is the entire crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. So this gives us a good gauge on how our altcoins are performing. So when we have a look at Bitcoin, we can actually see that we broke out from our previous all-time highs here and we went into price discovery. Whereas our altcoins, we actually came up to our previous all-time highs and we actually got a rejection from that level. And where did we come down to? We actually came down to a very key level support right here at about that $1.2 trillion market. And this is a typical pattern for Bitcoin and crypto, that when you see these breakouts, you typically get a retracement back down to the point it broke out. As you can see here, we broke out and then we came down and retested that level. We flipped it into support before breaking out again. And now we've come down and done the exact same thing, ready to put in that final move to the upside to break above these previous all-time highs. But we can see with our altcoins that they typically lag behind Bitcoin, because at the point of Bitcoin going above all-time highs, which was right here, our altcoins were significantly lower than their previous all-time highs, and it was only at the point where Bitcoin got to these levels up here that our altcoins actually got to the previous all-time highs. And our altcoins only really got into price discovery at the end of Bitcoin's move right here. Once Bitcoin had already made its big push to the upside, it was only afterwards that our altcoins followed. So a lot of people are talking about altcoins being dead and that we're not going to see an altcoin rotation. But if we look back at history, the way the cycles have always played out, it's only after Bitcoin has had its big run into price discovery where the altcoins have really exploded. And my price target for Bitcoin is going to be around that 150k level. And what I'm expecting is when we actually get that big breakout to the upside, that's when our altcoins are going to run, but only after we get that big move for Bitcoin first, which is why we have such a big opportunity to be able to accumulate altcoins when they're below their all-time highs, because we know once Bitcoin breaks out, which it's gearing up to do, is when altcoins are going to go into price discovery and massively outperform to the upside. And this is why it's important to be accumulating quality projects at this point, where you're able to buy on a discount when the majority of people are fearful. This is the time where true wealth can be made by taking big chances now when everyone else is too afraid to take that chance. And the people who are buying now in crypto are the ones who are going to make significant amounts of money compared to those who come in later and buy the top, because those people are going to be the exit liquidity for the people who are buying in early and buying the discounts that we currently see. Now, if you want to know the coins that I'm buying right now, the coins that I believe are going to make you the most money and be the best performing coins, you can purchase my list for just $149. All you have to do is just click on the link in the description and you can get access to those coins. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching with me to learn how to trade or invest, or if you'd just like me to look over your portfolio, you can book in a session with me. Just message me on either Instagram or Twitter, or send me an email. And if you'd like to sign up for a reliable exchange, I've got some linked in the description below. But besides that, I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out, Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out, don't ever rise is deadish.
Bearish target of 13 times though.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.